All right, peace and black power family. Peace to all my Africans out there. So if you are watching this video on YouTube, please subscribe to this channel. Help me grow this channel because we need as much unapologetic, platforms and voices, on social media. If you're on Instagram watching this, thank you. I appreciate you. You get what I'm saying? But please, if you are on YouTube watching this video, please subscribe and share this video with other Africans, whether they are like-minded or not, because we need Africans to hear this information. So first and foremost, I just want to talk about this for a second, about this whole presidential election. Not that I've been truly paying attention like that, because, in all honesty, I really don't care. And the reason why I don't care is because I believe that Africans have the ability to solve all their problems, specifically Africans here in the Western Hemisphere. We have all the ability to solve all our problems in this country right here, right? The number one thing we need to focus on, instead of organizing our votes, is organizing our mindset and our own personal intercultural agendas. So for me, I really don't care about who's going to be president. Basically the same thing with East Indians, the same thing with Asians, same thing with Jews. You don't really see a lot of them like that. The majority of people you see worrying about who's going to be the president or trying to organize votes are blacks, Latinos in certain parts of the country, and poor whites. You get what I'm saying? Like, to me, politics, as a lot of people say, politricks is really what it is. It's just a whole bunch of bag of tricks. So I really don't care. But I have a message for my ADOS, African American brothers and sisters, those who believe in the ideology of ADOS and foundational Black American, not those who are African American, who identify as African. No, I'm talking about the ADOS foundational Black American crowd. I'm talking about those brothers and sisters, those who wave the American flag, and those who who are very nationalistic, right? Let me just say this: if and again, everything I want to say is not going to be said, but I'm going to give a short version. If you think that the Democratic Party has ignored you, has underappreciated you, has basically treated you like a trash can, right? If you think that has been the case when it comes to your plea for reparations and social, taking care of social injustice, if you think that has been the case and they've taken your vote for can't think of the word, when they're taking your vote for granted, right? Let Joe Biden win this election without your vote. Let me say that again. And I'm not saying you should have voted, you shouldn't have voted that. I'm not even saying that. Run things how you run. But if you think that the Democrat Party has been disrespectful to that ADOS, foundational Black American crowd, has been ignoring them, right? You will really see disrespect if Joe Biden wins this election with Latinos, liberal whites, and the LGBT community. You're really going to see disrespect from the Democrat Party now, because they're going to say, oh, guess what? We don't even need your vote like that. The ADOS crowd. We don't even need your vote like that. Foundational Black American crowd. We could win the presidency without you. Right? And this is what they were counting on. This is 100% what they were counting on. They were counting on these other votes from other groups. You get what I'm saying? They were counting on the Electoral College, determining who was going to be the president. So if you really think that you've seen disrespect from the Democrat Party, if Joe Biden wins, you really gonna see disrespect. You really gonna see how they ignore black people in America now. You're gonna be like, we don't even need y'all. And this is one thing that a lot of people have been saying, like Dr. Amos Wilson, and when the black person becomes a unnecessary hindrance to American society, when the black person, I gotta make sure I'm burning my food, boy. Hold on, stop smelling that thing out here. Hold on. hold on. I ain't no master chef, so I gotta keep checking on this thing. Hold on. Make sure I ain't burning that thing. All right. So, you know, this society will make black people become a necessary hindrance, right? Because that's what it's about. That's what this society is about. It's about devaluing blackness. So again, I say this to my foundational black Americans. I say this to my ADOS brothers and sisters who believe in that ideology, who are focused on getting reparations, who don't care about connecting with other Africans, who don't care about, you know, all they care about is I want to check, right? Because there is a group of people out there like that who they just don't give a damn. All they want is to check, and they want to be American. And we just got to keep it funky. They don't care about kids dying in Africa. They don't care about people dying in the Caribbean. They don't care. They don't care nothing about nothing. I just want this check, and I'm not African. I'm American. That's basically just what it is, right? And that's okay. If you view yourself like that, then that is what that is. I'm at this point in the juncture, how serious things got. I'm not in the position and place to be telling people what to identify as and what. I'm over that part. Like I think that was very early on in becoming conscious, when you're trying to force people to believe in what you believe in, and try to, now it's just like, okay, that's what you believe in. All right, so if that's what you believe in, how does that relate to me? Okay, that's how that relates to me. So let me just go move over here then. If that's how you feel, let me just go move over here. Now it's, you know, it's no more convincing and arguing and trying to, like, if that's what you want, if you consider yourself as ADOS, Foundation of Black American, and not African, then do so. That's 100%. Then do so. Nobody's knocking you. Nobody's hating you. I mean, for me personally, I'm African. I'm African with a Haitian culture. You get what I'm saying? And that's just it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so with that being said, yeah, man, it's gonna get real disrespectful. The Democrats are gonna be real disrespectful if they win this without the majority of black votes, because a lot of blacks didn't vote. You know what I'm saying? A lot of blacks didn't vote. You know, so if they win that without this, they're gonna be mad disrespectful. I got on shades, and let me just say that I got on shades not because I'm cool. I got on shades because my eyes been hurting from working on this lecture for so long. I've been sitting in front of this laptop for like 12 hours, 13 hours a day. You know what I'm saying? So my eyes have been hurting, so I'm trying to rest my eyes with the shades, keep the lights on my eyes. So not because I think I'm cool, but just because my eyes been hurting from working on this lecture. So if I've been squinting before, I'm really gonna be squinting now. We are ethnically African. Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. We are ethnically African. You know, Africa is everywhere the Africans are. So, you know, it doesn't matter if you left Africa 5 days ago, you know what I'm saying, 5 years ago, 500 years ago, you still African. You know what I'm saying? And we can't ever lose sight of that. Because when we lose sight of that, only, like, let's say, for example, like, a lot of people know in California, there has been a large Asian community dating back to the 1800s, right, in California. These people still specifically call themselves Chinese or Asian or what. Like, they don't run from their ethnic identity. They don't run from who they are. And this has been successful in building, you know, their little Chinatowns or whatever they got going on. They don't run from that. No matter how diluted they are. There's some Japanese people and Chinese people in California who don't even speak the language. They don't even speak Mandarin. They don't even speak Japanese. They never even been to Japan. And they've been here since the 1800s. But they still overall identify with their culture. They might dibble-dabble in your culture once in a while. They might do a little hip-hop. Hey, you know what I'm saying? But they still overall identify with their culture. They still overall identify with being Asian before anything else, right? And so being the fact that, you know, Asia is a continent, right? Africa is a continent. America is a continent. And that's another thing, too. I don't get why can someone feel comfortable. And this is not me bashing. This is me trying to get like a resolution. I kind of got a resolution on it, but I just want to ask that question. Because as Nelly Fuller says, problems are solved through questions and answers. And so sometimes you might ask a question just to throw it out there to somebody so they can think about it themselves. So let me just ask this question. Why is it okay for you to call yourself an American, which is a continent, right? But it's not okay for me or someone else to identify as African, which is a continent. Because the proper term would be United States citizen. Because that's what we're in. We're in the United States. United States. United States of America. Because America is the continent. These are the United States. You are a United States citizen. You are not an American. If I can't call myself an African, you can't call yourself an American. It doesn't make any sense. You get what I'm saying? People always say, what part of Africa you from? Well, nigga, what part of America you from? Because America is a continent too. Because people in Honduras are Americans, technically speaking, because Honduras is in South America. Brazilians are Americans. But, you know, because, you know, like Dr. Amos Wilson says, we've been hypnotized. You know, our minds have been, you know, convoluted with a whole bunch of, you know, just self-hate and misinformation and things like that. We don't even see the context behind that. We don't even see the context behind that. Why it's okay to say that you're American or Black American or white American, but it's not okay to say that you're African. People ask you, what part of Africa are you from? What part of America are you from? I mean, you know, that's just common sense. So yeah, just to round off what I was saying about if the Democrats win this election without the majority vote of Black people, they really gonna do on the Black community, specifically the Foundation of Black American, ADOS community. And when I say that, I'm referring to a specific group of Africans in America who identify as that. I'm not talking about the majority of us who are born here, right? And so that's my position on that, right? Because again, what it's looking like is the Democrats, they basically could win whatever they need to win with the homosexual community, the small little immigrants, the coon immigrants, right? Because there are coon immigrants. We ain't gonna play that game. The small little coon Black, you know, foundational Africans, right? I call them foundational Africans, that been here, right? Because, you know, the church going folk, you know what I'm saying? The 9-to-5 people who, you know, really ain't into all that stuff, they gonna win the vote with them because they gonna vote. Like, you ain't telling them that they can't vote. And who else? The LGBT, and, you know, they could win the vote with those little small little majority of groups, and then the white liberals, of course. So, I mean, they just gonna look now and be like, man, fuck y'all. We ain't gotta listen to y'all. We don't have to listen to y'all agenda. We don't nothing. Fuck y'all. Y'all are y'all not even a factor in our next, you know, election or talking. Like, really, that's what it's gonna be. That's what it's gonna be. If you think, come on, look how they treated Black people now. You had Kamala Harris say, I ain't doing nothing for Black people. Like, they literally was like, I'm spitting on that. I'm spitting on foundational Black Americans agenda. I'm spitting on ADOS agenda. They did that shit before they even won. So if they win, how you think they gonna act? How you think they gonna act? Man, come on. They really finna get disrespectful. That's our only salvation. Okay. It's about Black empowerment for us. Well, you know, let me say this, brother, and I mean this with all disrespect, and this, and you know, this is a cordial conversation. You know, that's not true. That's not true. Reparations is not the only salvation. Now, a lot of people are saying that, but that's not true. To be honest with you, brother, we are our own reparations. If Africans in America, ADOS, foundational Africans, if they were to separate from America and become their own nation, like Dr. Amos Wilson talks about in his book, The Blueprint to Black Power. Where is it? Where is it? Like Dr. Amos Wilson talks about in his book, The Blueprint to Black Power. If Africans in America were to separate from the United States and become their own nation, they would be the 7th richest nation in the world. The 7th richest nation in the world, only behind other nations who have natural resources like oil, diamonds, gold, coltan, and things like that. Africans in America are the economy. Okay? They are the economy. We don't need financial reparations. We need mental reparations. We need cultural reparations. We don't need financial reparations because we got all the money. We produce $1.7 trillion, which I actually think it went up to like 1.9. But we produce $1.7 trillion to the American economy. To the American economy every year. You have other nations. You have Canada. Canada in being its own country or whatever it is, that doesn't even produce the amount of money that black people produce for the American economy. Come on. Music, black music is the biggest export in America. Just if we were to get control of the music, the masters alone, that can change the financial structure of how blacks are financially viewed and structured in America. The amount of jobs we create. This is when I and I'm not trying to be disrespectful. This is when I know when I'm talking to some of our brothers and sisters, because Dr. Amos Wilson is the GOAT to me. Is the GOAT to me. He is the GOAT, and he's ADOS, Foundational Black American. Whatever, you know, he's an African. He identified as an African, right? If a lot of the brothers and sisters who had the, I would say, big voices and big platforms, if they would read this book, they would see it's so many ways that we can attack this system. And when I mean attack, I don't mean physically attack. Let's just get that right. I don't mean physically attack. There's so many ways that we can knock this system over the head. Dr. Amos Wilson laid down 900 pages of this. 900 pages of the truth. But a lot of people skip over it because this requires accountability. This requires not buying Gucci, not supporting Prada, not, you know what I'm saying? This requires accountability. And a lot of folk, just being honest, they don't want to be accountable for how they spend their money. They don't want to be accountable for how they move throughout the community. They don't. And I say that with all due respect. We are our reparations. And when I say we are, I'm saying me, because I'm here too. Like we can't ignore the Caribbean Africans and the continental Africans who aren't coons. Let me say that, who aren't coons, who are on the side of black empowerment, who are black first. And you know what I'm saying? Like, we have to understand that we are, especially blacks in America, foundational Africans in America, have to understand that you already got a lot of enemies in this society. You are blocked in by the Arab, blocked in by the Asian, blocked in by the East Indian, blocked in by the white liberal, and blocked in by the white racist liberal. It doesn't make any sense to now start bashing on the few Caribbean people and the few African continental people who are on your side. I've had people come in my throat. I'm like, yo, nigga, I'm on your side. Like, what do you like? What's the problem? Like, I'm black first. What's the problem? Oh, nah, go back to Haiti and fix your shit. You see, that's the type of shit that you just look at somebody and say, you know what? So, with that being said, it doesn't make any sense to create more enemies, especially black enemies. I get it. The rhetoric is inciting. A lot of people like to speak that type of rhetoric because a lot of people are promoting and selling hate. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being real. A lot of people are promoting and selling hate to Africans in America. That's just what they're doing. They're selling you on that, right? And so I'm saying, if it doesn't make any sense, if you got race first Caribbean, race first African people who on your side may have a different slight opinion or whatever the case may be, but who not on no hate and shit, for you to attack them. Like, for me, and I'm gonna keep it a buck gully with you. Hold on, make sure my shit ain't burning. Make sure my shit ain't burning out, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, man, put that fire down a little more. Alright, my bad, my apologies, folks. My bad, my apologies. Nah, big bro, respect the Caribbean rise. I focus more on the good than on the bad. That's how we found Yeah, man. Yeah. Listen, nah, I'm missing, man. I rock heavy with Africans in America. You get what I'm saying? And it's all agenda. It's all an agenda to keep us separated, man. You know, I'll even give. I've heard somebody say this, and I'll give you a prime example. I heard somebody say this. Oh man, when Caribbean people come here, they create their little enclaves, and they move in their little communities, and they don't fuck with foundational Africans or foundational Black Americans. They move to their little communities and they separate themselves. When you go to Brooklyn, they have their own little communities. When you go to Miami, they have little Haiti. They separate themselves. Now, if you hearing that as a foundational Black American or as a foundational African, you're gonna be like, yeah, that is true. Damn, when they come here to America, they do separate themselves. They do move amongst they have their little enclaves and things like that. Here's the problem. When people speak like that, you don't put it into context. First of all, when someone buys a home, the bank is giving you a loan. And we know historically how these banks have been redlining people. So let me just I'm giving you context here. There isn't a group in America that said, hey, especially immigrant Black people, that said, hey, let's move. Everybody didn't say, hey, let's move over here and move over there. No, the banks give you the loans. And then they tell you, this is how much you get a loan for. Right? This is how much you get a loan for. You get a loan for 120. And then they tell you, well, this is the area you can move in. This is the houses you can look at. And so that creates these Caribbean and African enclaves. Not because they come here and say, oh, I want to separate myself from Black Americans. No, little Haiti wasn't created by Haitians. It was created by the institutions. When they were coming here and they were sticking them in those communities. Go back to the movie Scarface, which is a true story because I'm from Miami. How they took all the Cubans. Well, let me say this. White Cubans do separate themselves. I'm just going to say that. But look how they took all the Cubans and put them all in one place. Under that damn bridge over there on I-95. You know what I'm saying? This is real. Ask anybody that ever bought a house. When you go for a loan, unless you buying it cash, they're gonna straight up tell you, okay, this is how much you get a loan for it. This is what redlining is essentially. You putting a people in a certain community. These communities wasn't created because we wanted to create them, but this is all an agenda. So now you create the communities, you create the division. You have Haitians over here, you have Bahamians over here, you have Jamaicans over there, and then we all go to one school together, right? We all go to one school together. There's hold on. Well, I thought that bee was inside my house. I was like, what the fuck? How that bee got in here? But you know, it creates it. So a lot of times, what I'm trying to say is we have to put things in context. We gotta put things in context. There's a lot of people out there who's speaking surface level, and they speak in surface level because they want you to buy something. They want to sell you something. They want to keep you interested. It's the same thing about Hitler. What did Hitler do? Hitler said, man, if you give somebody to hate, oh, they gonna hate them all day. And same thing. What that cracker ass president said. He said, man, if I give poor white people somebody to look down on, they'll never even see me taking the money out their pocket. This is what a lot of people are doing in the so-called conscious community. They're with the ADOS and Foundation of Black American Movement. They're giving you somebody to hate. And the person looks like you. Listen, I have bad experiences with Caribbean people all the time. I have bad experiences with continental African people. I've had bad experiences with African Americans. I'm just keeping it a buck. I've had horrible experiences. If anybody knows the history of Miami, there were gangs created, ethnic gangs that were created in Miami, separating people. That's just a fact. Like, I'm not making this up. That's just a fact. I've had bad experiences with all African people. Bad experiences with Nigerians. Oh, horrible experiences. Do you think every time a person tells me, oh, I'm Nigerian, I'm like, oh, I don't fuck with you? Nah, I'm going to check. Okay. All right, I'm going to see what you're about. All right, boom, you on some bullshit. I'm keeping moving. Same thing with Haitians. I do the same thing with my Haitian people. Oh, you want some bullshit? Okay, I'm going to keep it moving. Don't get me wrong. I love my culture. I love my culture. But nothing comes before being African. I love my culture, but nothing comes before being African. That's hands down. You know what I'm saying? Love the history. Love everything about it. But if you want some bullshit, I can't rock with it. I can't rock with it. You know what I'm saying? There are people in this community who are purposely omitting Pan-African history. Meaning they are purposely not talking about the things that Africans are doing or have done to try to connect with African Americans, to try to build with African Americans. They're purposely doing this. You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying all continental Africans are cool. I'm not saying all Caribbean people are cool. We know that's true. That's a fact. But when you're not speaking in context, you're creating a wedge for a purpose. And a lot of these people's purpose is they want to sell you something. And they're going to sell you hate. And if they can sell you hate, which is an emotion, they can also sell you a t-shirt. They can also sell you a this and a that and a that. And they're going to keep on selling you the shit. And that's just what it is. That's just what it is. But don't let nobody fuel, you know, your misconception, man. Do your own research. See that there are people out here. There are people, and it's so crazy. I don't know if I know me, for me, I've been holding the feet to the fire. And believe you me, and I say this very humbly, I might have a small platform as they say it, but trust me, I know people are watching. And I've been holding people's feet to the fire. And now you see the change of the rhetoric. You see people changing the way they say, well, you know, you see it. Because it's like, nah, what you said is BS. And we got to call you on that. We got to call you on that. That ain't right. There are people out here that's holding it down. You know what I'm saying? There's people out here who came in the civil rights movement from the Caribbeans and jumped straight into black empowerment. Who ain't played no games. There are Caribbean countries. There are African countries. That's Algeria, Ghana. You know what I'm saying? All these places. Algeria, not Nigeria. Algeria, which has black people, but most stars overall, you know what I'm saying, Arab. But, you know, you got places in the Caribbean where it's like, yo, bring African Americans here. We'll take them. They are brothers and sisters. Straight up. But people ain't talking about that. And to be honest with you, here's the funny part about it is a lot of those countries that opened their doors up to African Americans were the first countries to be attacked. You know why they were attacked? They were attacked because the government said, yo, Memoranda 46, we can't have y'all reaching out to each other, giving land to each other, supporting each other, you know, being on one with each other. That's not what we doing. Hell no. What? So a lot of African countries were specifically attacked for opening their doors to African Americans. Specifically attacked. Matter of fact, Haiti will be a prime example of that. For Haiti trying to set an example for black people and opening this door to black people, Haiti been attacked since 1804. Since 1804. A lot of people don't know this. There is a part in the Haitian Constitution that is specifically designed for African Americans. Yeah. You ain't gonna find it in no other black constitution. But in Haiti's constitution, there's a specific part in there for African Americans. That's saying, yo, if y'all make it here, we rock with y'all, we gonna hold y'all down, y'all are brothers and sisters. There were decrees that were written for African Americans saying, yo, come to Haiti. We fuck with y'all. And America's like, whoa, hey, we don't like this. We don't like this. Let's go fuck with Haiti. And so you had in the 1940s what was created, the CIA. The CIA was specifically created for monetary bank issues to keep other countries destabilized. And one of the specific countries that they were trying to destabilize was Haiti, or keep Haiti destabilized. This is facts. Listen. This is facts. This is facts. So when I talk this African, Pan-African, this ain't me just talking out my ass, and you know, this is facts. This is what I know. This is what I know. So, you know, we got to get past the rhetoric, man. We got to get past the, you know, the BS, man. And sometimes we got to look at, okay, what's your agenda behind saying that? Well, why are you saying that? Why are you trying to separate, you know? Because I said, man, a lot of people, they're going to start off black. They're going to start off African. And then you're going to see their rhetoric going to change. And when their rhetoric start changing, you should question that. There's nothing wrong with you questioning somebody that you consider to be a leader or a follower. You shouldn't feel wrong for that. You should question, hey, where you leading me? One of the biggest questions we never ask our leaders is, where the fuck you leading me? What path are you taking me down? Because obviously we know holding the vote ain't work. Look how Look how it ain't come through. You know what I'm saying? Even though the election ain't over yet, but we gonna see. One of the biggest questions, I think John Henry Clark said that, one of the biggest questions we've been scared to ask our leaders is, where are you leading me? Where are you leading me? And why are you leading me down that path? You get what I'm saying? You got people now that's trying to integrate you. It sounds black. I always said I gotta make a shirt to say that. It sounds black. You got people now who's trying to deeply integrate you into a system that's designed to destroy you and kill you. I'm being real. You got people now who are trying to deeply integrate you into a system that's designed to kill you, a system that was operated in hating you. Listen, Dr. Amos Wilson gave so many solutions in this book. This is my third copy of this book. The other book I had was so beat up because I flipped through the pages so many times. This was actually a gift from my ex-wife. But this is actually a gift from my ex-wife because, my other book was just so damaged from going through it. You know what I'm saying? And then another book I loaned to somebody, which I had all my highlight versions in, and they never gave the book back. But that's another story for another time, because folk be on some other stuff, man. I just learned, treat your books like, I just don't do it no more. I just don't do it no more. And you lose a lot of information, a lot of pages I highlighted, and resources, you know what I'm saying? And, excuse me, not resources, sources that I had in books. And it's just so much to have to go back through this. This is a 900-page book. 900-page book. I would have to go back through every page. Let me stop complaining, because it is what it is. It is what it is. There's no point in complaining. I was going to talk a little bit about narcissism for a second. But let me just make my last little point before I start going on to narcissism. Make this last little point. And then I'm going to go ahead and go into narcissism and relationships and how narcissistic behaviors covertly move throughout. Oh, man. Goddamn laptop about to die. I need to learn how to change this damn battery. How narcissism plays out in our black relationships. My bad, family. Hold on. I ain't gonna lie, boy. I need to learn how to cook. Shit crazy. I need to learn how to cook for real, for real. Not this little stuff I be making at the crib. I need to learn how to cook. Alright, hold on. Let me make this last little point and then I'm gonna move on. My apologies again for this computer here, man. But yeah, the lecture by Bello this Saturday is gonna be in Lauderdale. I think it's Lauderdale. But the flyer is on my Instagram. Show up. They're gonna be doing social distancing. Masks are required. So all that. This is the lecture that I've been waiting for damn near a year now. So if y'all can make it to that lecture, that'll be dope. And then after that will be my lecture, part 2, the hidden history of Haiti, which I literally feel like I'm 99.9% done with it. It's about 300 and something slides. Very informational though. I ain't come to play no games. I'm tying in a lot of history. Then I'm going into like current events. Because there's a lot of misinformation out here, man. There's a lot of, on both ends. I'm gonna keep it gully. There's a lot of misinformation. Like, let me give you a prime example of what I mean by misinformation, right? And just a whole lot of gaslighting and a whole lot of surface conversations. Like, let me give you an example. The other day I was having a conversation with a brother who believes in the ADOS, Foundational Black American, reparations movement, which is cool, right? Not knocking nobody. And the brother was like, man, yeah, man, because, Africans in America, black Americans, we make up all the culture and we the face of black people, when you think about black people, you think about, you know, black Americans and this and that, and, you know, everybody jock us, and, you know, we are the premier culture, right? Now, I say that to say this. That statement was made without context, because the brother obviously didn't understand racism, white supremacy, right? This is one of the things we have to understand. White people will not use a positive black image to inspire other black people, okay? Now, this doesn't mean, I'm not saying that African American culture is negative. I'm not saying that. There are positive aspects of African American culture. But what Europeans do is they take the negative parts, because everything has negative and good. Let me just make that very clear. They take the negative parts of African American culture and they superimpose them on other black people, and they make them bigger than what they really are. When you go to Nigeria now, there's stick music, that Chicago drill music or whatever it's called. There's gangster, there's Bloods and Crips now in, you know what I'm saying, in Africa, in Holland. You know what I'm saying? There's gangs now, right, who repping Bloods and Crips. They don't even truly know what was started in Athens Park. They don't even truly know, but because white supremacy said, hey, this is something negative that we can use, right, to further destroy other Africans in other places. So they take that part of black American culture and then they feed it to other black people. If the culture that they were using to represent black people, black Africans in America, was something positive, that shit wouldn't even make it past Key West. They would not let it out of America. They will hold that shit hostage. The same way you got Africans who don't know Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. You got Africans who don't know John Henry Clark, who don't know none of these great black African American scholars. They know none of them. But they know all the ratchetness. So I say that to say this. Don't pat yourself on the shoulder so fast because white supremacy is using the negative parts of your culture to influence black people. So you say, man, we the most recognized and people always jocking us, but the people who are being influenced are not being influenced in a positive way. So this is what I mean by a lot of people talk surface level. They don't get down to the nitty-gritty of something. They don't get down to it. They talk surface level. And surface level conversations will have you confused. Because again, all problems are solved through questions and answers. But if you speak in surface level, then it's going to make sense. No. They know white supremacy understands what a positive culture is. They understand that there are positive things they can take from African American culture and show to other people that they can make big in other places, but they don't do that. They go to Africa and promote little pumps, not little pumps, the little somethings, you know what I'm saying? Whoever they can promote, they let that be the face of black America. Or they let a coon be the face of black America. Some basketball playing Negro, some Oprah Winfrey mammy. They let that be the face of black America. Not Professor James Smalls, not John Henry Clark, not Dr. Amos Wilson. They don't let that be the face of black America. No. So we have to start thinking about these things thoroughly before we, and I get it because, and this goes into my narcissist part. I get it because a lot of us have narcissistic traits. And the root of narcissism, right? The root of narcissism is a false self, an insecurity about one's self, right? That's the root of narcissism. A lot of us think that there's different forms of narcissism. There's the flamboyant narcissist, the one who flaunts the money, like the Floyd Mayweather type of narcissist, who feels like I'm the world, look at me, everybody needs to pay attention to me, I'm the shit. That narcissist is the flamboyant narcissist. They also deal with the level of insecurity. They feel like they have to be the face of the party. Everybody has to know them, right? You have the covert narcissist, right? And all of these things, are very, All of these things are very essential to who we are. Because again, to be honest with you, let's just keep it a buck. It doesn't say this in the books, but I'm going to say this because I'm making it my own goddamn curriculum. A lot of us have been plagued with narcissism. That's just a fact. Because again, the root of narcissism is insecurity, is a complex of inferiority, right? So if we're living in a white supremacist system that tells us that nothing is good about us, that black is this, that black is that, we grew up in a household where we got 11 brothers and sisters, or one brother or sister, you know, receives more attention than us, then that creates a level of narcissism. Because now we seek validation, right? We seek approval. And people, when you see people, you know, doing things like showcasing their twerking skills on Instagram for likes, that's narcissism. That's a level of show me I'm important. I'm twerking for you. Give me a like, give me a comment. That's why you see the black community is so damn attention starved. We are so we do anything for attention. It doesn't matter. We be on Instagram dropping powder. Ooh, look at me. I'm doing the powder challenge. Oh yeah. Look at my twerking skills. Oh yeah, look at me. I could sing for you, daddy. We just do the dumbest shit online because that's seeking attention. That's narcissism. We feel insecure about ourselves. Look at me. Pay me attention. You know what I'm saying? We don't have a lot of people who stand on a square. Like for me, my anti-narcissism medicine is saying shit that I know people not gonna like. That keeps me grounded. You know why? Because I know a lot of people not gonna like what I say. So I'm not seeking validation. I'm not seeking for you to accept me. I'm saying the truth, and I'm saying it is what it is. I don't need you to accept me. That's how I stay humble. That's how I stay away from that narcissist shit. Because you get a lot of people who get up here and they will stop saying certain things because they don't want to offend certain people, because they know if they offend certain people, they're not going to receive that validation. They're not going to receive that acceptance. They're not going to receive that like or that comment that they seek so much. You get what I'm saying? Anybody? Am I talking to myself? I think I'm there out there. But anyway, and so we have a large level of narcissistic behavior where people can't disagree with you. They can't disagree with you respectfully. Because, again, narcissists are very insecure. So if you disagree with them, they take it personally. Man, what you talking about? Man, I know this and I know that. And they have to validate what they say. No, you can't tell me. I know. That's why our community, we so it's not that we're ignorant, it's that we're so insecure. You get black people saying things like, there's 3 things I don't talk about. I don't talk about religion, I don't talk about politics, and I don't talk about some other shit people be saying, right? And the reason why they say this is because they're insecure about what they believe in. Somebody who's you know, not insecure, they can say, yeah, all right, let's talk about it. Because at the end of the day, I'm still gonna walk away with my belief. You're not gonna change my belief. My belief is my belief. You're not gonna change it no matter what you bring it. Because what I believe in is grounded in facts. It's grounded in facts. And so we have a lot of narcissism in the community. It doesn't have to be grandiose narcissism. It could be regular narcissism. You have the victimized narcissist who seeks attention, because that's what narcissism is all about, seeking attention, whether negative or positive. You know what I'm saying? You have that narcissist that is always seeking attention through sympathy. Oh man, I'm just so hurt. Oh man, I can't believe that. They always calling you with their problems. You know that person I'm talking about. They always calling with their problems. Never asking you how your day going, how you went, what you got going on. It's, oh man, let me tell you about this. Oh man, let me tell you about that. Because they're seeking validation. They're seeking that acceptance. They are draining you. They are draining you because they need you to tell them it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be good. And you always see this person, always see the same person in the same situation. You're like, bro, I just gave you advice about this. Why are you still going through this? We just sat here and had a whole conversation about this. It's because it's not that they really want to change. It's because they are a covert narcissist and they need your energy. They need your acceptance. They need your approval. They need your sympathy. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I'm coming out my trick bag today. I'm gonna show y'all what how that old thing with Kanye where he say, "Who taught you that?" And she's like, "Yeezy taught me." I'm gonna show y'all what Dr. Amos Wilson taught me today, boy. I'm gonna show y'all what Dr. Amos Wilson taught me today, and what these psychology books taught me today. Oh yeah, because this narcissism stuff is real, man. Even in relationships, black relationships, we have a level of narcissism. Huge. I've dated narcissistic women, okay, and they're so good at victimizing themselves. Like, let me give you an example. Narcissists cannot accept responsibility for their actions. So what they would do is they would deflect from what you are bringing to them, right? So if you bring to them and say, "Man, you know, you cheated on me," the first thing they're gonna say is, "Man, you made me feel so insecure. It's because you did this. It's because I wasn't feeling love. It's because I did this." They're not going to accept their responsibility of they took the action of cheating. It doesn't matter what I did to you. It doesn't matter, you know, how much hours I worked. You went and slept with somebody. But they're not going to accept that. They are now going to deflect off of what they did. Narcissist people cannot accept responsibility. That's why you see white people are the most narcissistic people, right? Because if they accept responsibility internally and say, "Man, you know what, I did you wrong," that makes them feel some type of way. Their ego is now being checked. Remember, narcissistic people are very insecure. They are very insecure. They have a false sense of themselves. So if they say, "I was wrong," that plays at their cognitive dissonance, right? So I'm giving y'all some game on relationships now, on dealing with a person. Now, this could be a family member, or this could be somebody that you're in love with. They will not accept responsibility. If they do sort of accept responsibility, right, it will be what they classify as breadcrumbing, right? They will say, "I know I did you wrong. I apologize. Get back with me. Be my girl again. Be my man again." But the behavior will not change. They will continually do the same thing that they are doing. Because you have to understand, narcissistic behavior is on a continuum. It's from mild, it's from medium to mild to high, or small or to medium, whatever you want to call it, right? So it's levels to this. It's levels to that narcissistic behavior. They will breadcrumb you. They will give you just enough of apology, just enough of whatever they need to give you to bring you back into that narcissistic relationship, so they can continue to receive validation, so they can continue to abuse you emotionally, so they can continue to do whatever they do without changing. When you see a person who makes a mistake and says, "Let me correct this in my behavior," that person does not suffer from narcissism like that. Because they see that they hurt you. They have empathy. That's another thing about narcissists. They lack empathy. They lack that emotion to say, "Damn, I did that. I really did that. Let me change my behavior." White people, narcissists, right? They know they fucked us over in slavery. They know what they did. You think no. They breadcrumb us. They say, "Oh, well, we was wrong for that. Let's end slavery. Oh, we was wrong for that. Let's end segregation." But the racism still persists. That's why white people are the most narcissistic people, right? Their inability to admit that they are wrong. I don't even want to say this, but when you cannot admit that you're wrong, that's narcissistic as fuck. Your lack of ability to take responsibility is narcissistic as fuck. And we often encounter these relationships, right, in our family, in our work environments, with people we work with and shit like that. We encounter these relationships, but we never make any sense of it. So that's oh shit. So that's my first little joint on narcissism. Trust me, I'm gonna be doing a lot more of these, talking about narcissism and this, because we really gotta break down. You know, we even have narcissists within the pro-black African community. Hella narcissists. Woo, hella narcissists. Very, very narcissists. People that when you disagree with them on a comment, Your mama a bitch. Yo stupid ass. You ain't read this book. You dumb motherfucker. That is, again, the core of narcissism. Being insecure. You can disagree with somebody as long as it's on code. Like, I disagree with a lot of things that people say. But you don't see me in the comment section cussing them out and calling them all stupid and shit like that. And degrading them and trying to bring up personal things. Because, again, if somebody's insecure, then they have to bring you down to their level. That's why you get in relationships with people and you will see them, when y'all get in an argument, they will say the most disgusting shit like, damn, that's how you really felt? Shit, you been sleeping with me all this time and you felt like that? Then you gonna talk about my mama like that? You gonna talk about my kids like that? Damn. Shit. That's their insecurity trying to break you down. Because they're insecure. You know what I'm saying? So this shit is real deep, man. This shit is real deep. But let me just go ahead because I got a few minutes left. Let me show y'all what I was talking about in reference to the CIA. And so this is a part of my lecture, right? This is a part of my lecture that I'm going in. These are CIA documents. Listen, I go deep with this. I just don't do no surface level bullshit. I go deep. I'm not talking out of my ass. I'm talking out of love and research, right? A lot of us just talk of emotions. So I go real deep. These are CIA documents, right? Now, here's so funny. Here's what's so funny about this, right? As you can see from these documents, hold on, let me zoom in on these documents. You can see these documents is from 1963, July, right? 1963. Check this out. Look when they decided they were going to release these documents. Let me see if it can focus in. You see that? Hold on. Damn. You see that? Approval. Hold on. You see that? Approval for release date, May 2001. These documents are from 1963. 1963. They decided to release these documents May 2001. You know why they decided to release these documents May 2001? Because they know Negroes ain't gonna be thinking about this no more. And when you read through these documents, how they man, they did a lot of shit in Haiti, yo. Man, let me tell you something. They did a lot of disgusting shit. These crackers did a lot of disgusting divide and conquering and setting up stuff, causing political. And you know why? Because, and this is why. And they write this in this shit. They feared Papa Doc because Papa Doc was the only black leader in the Western Hemisphere who was iron fist with his shit. They feared that whole black messiah. They said, whoa, we know the history of Haiti. We know Haiti's a Pan-African country. We got to throw a monkey wrench in this. A lot of that whole Tonton Macoute stuff, when you break down, the CIA actually funded. Man, this stuff is deep, man. But the whole point of what this whole document is about was destabilizing Haiti and keeping African Americans from finding any interest in Haiti. Because again, this was in the 60s. Now I'm giving y'all context now. This was in the 60s. What was going on in the 60s? What was going on in the 60s in America? The Black Panther Party. Oh, am I making sense now? Am I making sense? I don't want to be talking crazy now. And we know the history with the Black Panther Party in Haiti, if y'all watch my documentary. We know how connected they've been before, if y'all watch my documentary. Which you can get for $15. I appreciate you. I just want to make my money back. That's it. I just want to make my money back. Hit me in the DM in the Cash App. I just want to make my money back. I ain't trying to be rich. I ain't trying to be ballotastic. I just want to make my money back. But let me stop joking. Let me stop joking. I'm actually doing good. I actually went the whole live without clowning and joking. So I'm doing good today. But, yeah, man. You got to understand that, man. Africans in America, let me just say this. This government does not plan on letting you go. They do not plan on letting you go to a stabilized country and creating your own land and doing all this and doing all that. If they did, they would not have sabotaged Marcus Garvey. If they did, they wouldn't have sabotaged Haiti. They wouldn't have sabotaged Ghana. They wouldn't have sabotaged any African country that opened its door to black Americans. They don't plan on letting you go. You are their economy. You are their lifeline. They will destroy the whole world before they let you go. They might try to replace you with immigrants and things like that, but before they do that, they want to make as much money off. They're not planning on letting you go. They built the whole system on oppressing you and keeping you. You really think they're gonna let you go to Haiti and Ghana or Jamaica or any other black place to say, yeah, we're gonna build our own? What? What? They know that they know. What? Are you crazy? No, that's not gonna happen. So they would destroy any black country that has contact with you or reaches out to you. The same thing. Check this out. When Robert Mugabe, when he started talking that Pan-African stuff, and he was like, yeah, you know, we should open our doors to African Americans, you know, because remember, Robert Mugabe, he took a whole bunch of land back from the white people, and he was like, you know, it'd be interesting if we give that land to African Americans. Hey, after that, Robert Mugabe was gone. After being in power for damn near 40 years, he made a comment about African Americans, and he was gone. The CIA ousted him. So I'm just keeping it funky with you. I'm keeping it gully. You talking about Pan-Africanism? Negroes are scared to talk Pan-Africanism with black Americans because they know if they start talking that, oh, they in trouble. They country finna get flipped and thrown and they know either they know on a conscious level or a subconscious level. People know. People know, man. No, they know. People know, or either on a conscious or subconscious. They know. They know. Because they know this white man ain't gonna let African Americans go without a fight. They not. That's why they created the CIA. Because remember, after slavery, a lot of folks were leaving. A lot of black people was leaving. After Reconstruction and all that, a lot of black people was leaving. You had W.E. Du Bois was picking up the Pan-African movement, telling people we got to go to Ghana, we got to get the hell out of here. W.E. Du Bois actually died in Ghana. But a lot of people were leaving. You have places like Nova Scotia, Canada, where black Americans settled at. You had places like Liberia. You had all these places that black Americans were leaving to. South America, Haiti. Like they were leaving, right? And so the government said, oh, hell no. We got to destabilize their government. We have to keep their economy fucked up. We need all black Americans to stay here in America so we can continuously make money from them and oppress them. Understand this. Racism can only work if you have another race to be racist against. If black people leave, who they gonna be racist against? Come on now, let's put this shit into context now. If black people leave, who I'm gonna be racist against? Who I'm gonna oppress? Who is this economy, this capitalist economy, gonna be based off of? White people? White people ain't gonna be oppressed in large majorities like that. Hell no. So I'm just saying, man, I'm not saying hate nobody. I'm saying let's put everything into context. Let's speak openly. Let's speak honestly. A lot of people are not here for the true benefit of African liberation or even black liberation. Some people just here just to do whatever they do. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not knocking them, you know, but I'm just not going to be for the shit. So anyway, December 12th, going to be my lecture. This Saturday is Baino Bello lecture. If you can make it out, make it out. I will be there. I will have copies of my book, Haiti and Her Friends. If you haven't got that children's history book, because it's not a story book, it's a children's history book for African children, hit me in my DM. I would love to send you out a copy. It's $20 on Cash App. If you haven't watched my first lecture, The Hidden History of Haiti, please hit me in my DM. You know, I'd love to send you out that link. I appreciate everybody's support wholeheartedly, because y'all know how bad it be out here. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate everybody's support. And with that said, man, you know, tickets for my event go on sale this Saturday. So I appreciate if you know you could buy a ticket or even donate a ticket. If you can't make it to the event, I appreciate if you buy, donate a ticket. You know, and that's just it, man. I'm just here, man, to do my part. That's it. I am just a simple ripple in a big ocean, and I'm just here to do my part, man. So I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm out. If you watch this on YouTube, please subscribe. You know what I'm saying? And hit a like or even a dislike. It don't even matter at this point. But peace and power. Peace and black power, family.